Hi everybody, welcome back to my living room, slightly different setting. I thought I should really get in one video today amidst a busy day. I have to leave shortly to get some supplies for a chemistry project with marshmallows and toothpicks. Check on another project going on for school, but let's do a practice together. It'll be a brief one, gentle yoga, just for about 15-20 minutes. Just wanted to make sure I got in something today for you. So come along and join me. I have Kingman James here, my dog Kingy. And he's just gonna quietly hang out while we practice. But just coming into a comfortable seat, allow yourself to settle into your seat. You can also sit in a chair if you prefer. From this position, we're going to stand on our feet for most of the class. So either seated on the floor or in a chair. Let's just begin with our breathing, focusing on the diaphragmatic breath first. So feel the breath moving in and out of your lungs. And in a moment, we'll start to engage our diaphragmatic breathing by shifting the movement of breath down to our lower belly first as we inhale, and then into our mid and upper chest. Exhaling out, letting it recede back toward the spine. So again, just breathing into the lower belly, then the mid and upper chest. And as you exhale, let it recede back toward the spine. And we just give ourselves a moment to be accustomed to breathing this way. We shift the inhalation so that it builds in our lower belly first and then rises into our mid and upper chest, exhaling back toward the spine. And again, as you become more familiar with your diaphragmatic breathing, let's start to draw in the Ujjayi breath, that slight constriction in the back of the throat. And it's as if you are going to say the syllable ah, but you whisper. And it causes this constriction in the back of the throat, the glottal muscle, and then eventually you close your mouth while you do it. And once this nature combines with the diaphragmatic breathing, the two combine. And they synthesize. So inhaling into the lower belly, then the mid upper chest, exhaling back toward the spine, in combination with that Ujjayi element, that slight tightening of the back of the throat. It takes some practice. But as with everything, it does come into being. And a controlled form of breath allows you to focus, just like other forms of exercise where you breathe in a specific way, allows you to focus. So as we move our bodies today, staying with these two forms of breath, again, Inhaling into the lower belly, then the mid and upper chest. And exhaling, receding back toward the spine. Combining it with the Ujjayi breath, that slight constriction in the back of the throat. And the two, breathe like one. So with your next exhalation, your next diaphragmatic Ujjayi exhalation, slowly stretch your arms out to the side. We'll do a little side bending from the right side first as we inhale. Lifting the arm up and bending over to that side and breathing the diaphragmatic Ujjayi breath. If you have a pet, bring your pet along with your practice. Inhaling, taking the arm up, and exhaling, reaching it out to the side. And then the other side as you inhale up. And exhale over. Breathing in, breathing out. Let those intercostals start to open through your rib cage. Helps facilitate the respiratory system, letting it do its job. And then inhale, lifting the arm up, and release. Let's start to come onto our feet. So starting to shift out of our seat, coming up onto our feet as we practiced last week. You can use what I call the King Arthur pose. One knee down, one knee up, both legs at a 90-degree angle, and using all fours to rise. Or you can practice on strengthening your quadriceps and your glutes by not using your other limbs and stepping up. Coming to your mat, we'll come into Tadasana first. And Tadasana is a foundation pose for all standing poses. Feet hip width apart, toes forward, heels directly back. This idea of proprioception, our bodies in space, feeling the nature of how we carry ourselves. Spread your toes wide. Feel the lateral edges of your feet. Feel the ball of the foot and the inner arch. There are muscles in the feet, a multitude of which help to carry our body weight, our bipedal nature that we take for granted. This is balancing, as I mentioned before. This is balancing. So standing in mountain pose, palms facing forward. Breathing in, breathing out. And stay with your breath. And just notice the attention in the legs, the activation of the calf muscles, the thighs, creating that lift in the knee, the distribution of weight from your right hip to your left. Not as though you have to create any significant change in your pelvic hold. More of awareness today, just in the way that you stand and how you carry your weight. Take that awareness up through your body, through your chest. Again, that 3-part breath operating through the torso, right to the throat. And as you inhale, roll your shoulders forward and up. And exhale, roll them back and down. And again, inhale, roll your shoulders forward and up. And as you exhale, back and down. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, rolling the shoulders forward and up. And exhale, back and down. Let's bring our hands to Anjali Mudra prayer position, thumb to the sternum. Notice how good it felt to release those shoulders back and down to establish that sort of reset of the shoulders, posturally, especially for the upper thoracic spine. Breathing in, breathing out. And let's inhale, lift our arms up. So that prayer pose passes the nose and the forehead. Fingers clasped together. Take a deep inhalation, press the palms up. We go right into Urdhva Hastasana. And again, as we exhale, let's bend over to the left side. You should see King right now. He's doing a little of his own yoga. Breathing in, breathing out. And then inhale, raise your body back up. That plumb line straight up to the crown of your head. And exhale over to the right. Take another deep breath here, diaphragmatic Ujjayi breathing. And inhale, guide the body back up. And exhale, release the arms to the side. So again, focusing on this nature of balance from the position we take for granted, simply standing on our feet, and playing from this foundation, expanding upon it. So again, spread your toes really wide, what we call abduction. Literally, you do with your toes. Spread them out as much as you can. And lean a little forward into your shins, the balls of your feet and your toes. Start to feel a lift in the heel. Doesn't matter how high. And as you exhale, bring yourself back into the heels of your feet. Distribute the weight back through your feet. And inhale, come forward. And again, rock into the ball of the foot. Distributing the weight through the toes. And lift the heels up. Doesn't matter how high. Exhale, release the heels back down again. So let this be the rhythm, creating the momentum for the lift. Inhale into the lift. Engaging fully all the way up. And exhale, heels back down again. So as you inhale the next time, coming forward into your feet, the balls of your feet, your toes, lifting the heels, engaging all the way up. You can feel it right into the upper thigh, the base of your glutes, underside there. Engaged. And exhale back down again. One more time as we rock forward into the front of our feet. And exhale back down again. And this time we'll create the hold. So take your time. Feel the nature of your feet, especially in the balls of your feet, your toes, as the heels of your feet become light. And that sense of lift now all the way up to the crown of your head as you keep your heels up and continue to engage. Breathing in and breathing out. The beauty of a calf lift is that you have the initial reaction on the part of the gastrocnemius, which is the more superficial calf muscle. But the longer you hold, the deeper you go and into the soleus, a muscle that's closer to your skeletal framework. And building strength there is just as important as the superficial muscles, especially if you want to create a whole body strengthening, a whole body support system. If you need to lower your heels down, lower them at any time. Take a deep breath in and come up again through the heels. And just try and breathe. One more breath. And as you exhale, lower your heels back down and just rock back and forth a few times. Just any rhythm that you wish, quicker or slower. Pause for a moment, spread the weight evenly through your feet, heels down, balls of the feet down, toes down. And let's just lift our right heel up and stretch it back in space. And then lift our left heel up and stretch it back in space. So the foot is back down fully on the floor once again. Once more, inhale, lift. the right heel up, stretch it back in space, the entire foot is down. And do the same with the opposite heel. Stretch it back in space and down. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Bringing our arms back into position, Anjali Mudra is the hand symbol or the seal, the prayer. Palms together, thumb to the sternum, that shoulder placement. Take a deep inhalation into the lungs. And exhale, extend the head forward and down, chin down toward the chest. Inhale, we'll start to move our arms through the method of Surya Namaskar, upper body, arms out to the side. If this bothers you, take them further forward in front of you instead. And exhale, release the arms to the side. So we'll do 5 of these. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling when you're ready. And exhaling when you're ready. Inhaling. And exhaling. Go back to the origin from which this moves. And when you're ready, inhale the arms up. And exhale, release them down. Coordinating your breath with movement. Inhaling the arms up. And exhaling them down. Let's do 2 more. I always lose count. Exhaling down the head. Inhaling the arms. And exhaling. And once more. And exhale. Let's practice tree pose together. Vrikshasana is a Sanskrit term. There's a lot that goes on in tree pose, and it's not just about balance, it's about lateral rotation of the hip. So starting with your left leg, you're actually going to turn it out from that hip joint. And that's a lot for the hip to turn out, the trochanter and that hip socket. So give it the opportunity to turn out first, and then determine the foot placement. So in essence, you could just keep the foot on the floor. This is tree pose. Traditionally, you see the foot lifted, but you don't have to. If you want to work with that lift, you can slide the foot in and let the heel come to rest right above the right ankle on the inside, above the inner arch of the right foot. And so the placement can be here, and again, foot on the floor, or you can go higher, inside of the calf, or to the thigh itself. But avoid the knee area. Avoid putting weight on the knee. Because the knees are the links of the body. So we have to be aware of those links to treat them well. Traditionally, tree pose has arms overhead, but does not have to. You can have it in Anjali Mudra. Or your sense of balance might be better felt with your arms extended out to the side, or in a V, or you can do the traditional overhead. And it's absolutely up to you as you practice, because the joy of it is finding the nature of your own practice and not being spoon-fed. It's not really what yoga is about. Breathing in, breathing out. Stay with your breath. Diaphragmatic Ujjayi breathing. And we'll hold here for 1 more breath. And as we exhale, release arms and then legs. Legs down first if it feels disorienting, so get your stability. Try the other side. If you have an issue with the hip, somewhere in the leg, the foot, It may look different on this side. So we go with how we feel what's going on inside the body, and we respond to that. It's not a one-size-fits-all. We just want to listen to the intelligence of the body. So again, here, arms can be in a completely different position. Breathing in, breathing out. Stay with your breath. Let's take one more deep breath here. And as we exhale, release the arms, release the legs. Standing hip rolls are nice, especially after we've engaged the hips. So it's a circular motion we call circumduction. It's like when you were a kid and you used a hula hoop. A few times in one direction and then switch and go in the other direction. And then release. So we've done lateral rotation from the hip. Let's do flexion from the hip. And we're simply going to start to bend the left knee. Again, the foot does not have to rise. You can be up on your toes, heel lifted. You could be on the ball of the foot. The action is here, flexing at the hip and of course at the knee. If it feels okay to lift the foot higher, you can take it higher. Arms alongside the body, or you can hold the underside of the thigh for support. And just inhaling, exhaling here. Keep the foot neutral. So we're not flexing or dorsiflexing the foot. It's like it's standing on the floor. It's just neutral. Breathing in, breathing out. One more breath. And exhale, release. Notice how much we want to engage the entire right side and lift from that side as it carries the weight. So maintaining this sort of enlivened approach on that side so we can help to engage. Let's do the other. Again, as we start to flex from the hip and the knee, the foot can remain on the floor. More or less surface area. And if you're practicing with reduced surface area, come really, really high up onto the big toenail. Right there. I'm going to just be brushing against the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. And of course, if you want to lift higher, you can lift higher. You can hold the underside of the thigh and be with your breath. Diaphragmatic Ujjayi. Take 2 more breaths. Shoulders back and down. Chest open facilitates breath. Take a deep diaphragmatic Ujjayi breath. And exhale, release. Now maybe a little rocking from side to side because of the emphasis on weight distribution on each side of the body depending on which was lifted. So lifting off, literally when you rock, lift off, lift off. It's a nice release. And lastly, we've done lateral rotation, flexion. Let's do extension. This is where we don't flex at the hip joint on the front, the anterior. We open it up. Extend it. So starting again with, sorry, Keeney, I gotta move your dog toys. Feet hip width apart, toes forward, heels directly back. Again, starting with the left side, we're gonna take a step back. You can take what would be a normal human step in reverse. So both your front foot and your back foot are completely down on the floor. It's a good place to start, both feet on the floor. And then gradually as you inhale, start to propel yourself forward and weight distribution comes forward on that right leg and body comes forward from hip to head. And you'll notice your back heel starts to lift. That's already extension of the hip. You may be up on the toes, you may be on the ball of the foot, or you may be even higher up by starting to lift those toes and extend the leg back in space and breathe. Inhaling, exhaling. But again, if the foot is still on the floor, it's the same energy, the same spirit of the practice behind it, the same movement. Foot down or foot up. One more deep breath here. A lot of work on those hamstrings as they contract. And as you exhale, release. Come forward and let's work on the right side. So again, as you take that human step in reverse and both feet are down, notice when you start to shift your body forward, this is an engagement imbalance, even if that back foot were to stay on the floor. It's the same spirit of the energy behind the movement itself, regardless of whether that back foot stays down as you shift your body forward. Still feel it in that back leg. Or if you lift the heel and come onto the ball of the foot. Or if you ride a little higher up onto the toes and the big toenail. Or if you lift the leg. It's the same spirit behind the effort. Breathing in, breathing out. And we'll just take a few deep breaths here in that extension of the hip. One more deep breath. And as we exhale, releasing that back leg down, shifting the weight back, and then stepping forward. In a future episode, we'll do kitchen yoga, and I'll show you how you can use your countertop as an additional prop to work with these movements through the hip. Let's come back to mountain pose. Bring our hands to Anjali Mudra. And again, just to see the practice of yoga with a little more creativity. You do not have to do Shavasana, final relaxation, lying on your back. You can do Shavasana lying on your side. Take your legs up the wall in Viparita Karani, seated. You can do final relaxation standing. Standing in mountain pose. Palms of the hands facing forward. Taking a deep diaphragmatic Ujjayi breath. And then letting it go. Come back to your natural breathing. And just be here for a moment. And if it's disconcerting to have your eyes closed, let your eyes remain open. Gazing, drishti in Sanskrit, gazing softly in front of you. As if you're looking through whatever it is, as opposed to looking at it. awareness back to your breath. Take a deep inhalation into your lungs. So softly exhale out. Your eyes are closed. Let them gently open and adjust to the light. And let's close with Namaste. Namaste. The spirit in me bows to the spirit in you. And when we are in that place together, we are one. Namaste, everyone. I hope you are well. I'll see you soon. And take care.